Hi folks, hope you're well. An interesting day today. So this video is going to be a little bit eclectic. It's going to be bouncing around a little bit, but I want to have a sort of conversational, observational type video with you. Thank you for the kind comments. Yes, looks like we're up to 67 subscribers now. That's one extra in the last 6 months. Wow, way to go. Don't you just love it? Anyway, those who are important subscribed, and those who comment are equally welcome, of course, even if they don't subscribe. I had a great day today. I spent the day with my son, quite frankly. We went shopping together. I try to avoid shopping, but hey ho, he wanted to go out, so he went out with the old man. I felt like I was walking around with a bodyguard. He's enormous. Oh dear, I thought, well, the drinks are on him. So, yeah, here we are walking around town. So we went in town early to get a parking space. First time, quite frankly, I've been in town for weeks and weeks and weeks. And it was early, as I said, to get a parking space. So we had a few minutes to kill before all the big shops opened. But he said, hey Dad, he said, how do you fancy having a Mackie breakfast? I said, I don't really. He knows my thoughts. I said, but I'm perfectly happy to watch you eat one, if that's your thing. Well, being what he is, he said, well, I quite fancy one, and he's into the maple syrup pancake things for breakfast, so I'd already had a breakfast before we left, so we go in. First time I've been in McDonald's for nearly 2 years. Okay, easily. Excuse me. Beg your pardon. And I couldn't believe my eyes. Excuse me. I thought, where's all the queues? In fact, it was quite empty, quite frankly, because it was early. And I thought, what are all these screens? And he said, oh, you haven't been into McDonald's lately, have you? I said, no. He knows me. And he's in the military, so he gets discounts and all sorts of things. But I said, no, I haven't. It's not my bag, to be honest. And he knows why. And it's rare that he goes in, quite frankly. But anyway, he wanted this. And I said, what's with all this? I said, how do you order then? Because normally you go up to my day, when I was poorly, before I pre-wising up about McDonald's shit, I used to go in and have a bacon and egg McMuffin, which was quite delightful until I realised what was in it. So I, by aversion therapy, I weaned myself off and stopped going into McDonald's. I made the decision, and that was that. I wasn't ever going to eat it again, ever, ever. And you soon learn that by realising what's in the shit in the food that you eat out of McDonald's and others like them. If only you knew what was in those things. Anyway, so I thought, well, it's quite innocuous, really. I mean, can't go far wrong with maple syrup and a pancake. So, he's on a pretty safe bet, otherwise I'd have given him a good talking to. But I said, what's all this touchscreen stuff? He says, oh yeah, it's great. He said, you just go in, choose breakfast, how many people would you want to drink, touch, touch, touch. All very sexy. I thought, And I looked over at the counter, and there's one person standing behind the counter, which is a long counter, quite a big McDonald's. I thought, where are all the others? Because normally, a couple of years ago, it was 6 or 7 tills, there's 1 till. Where is everybody? Plenty of people stuffing their faces with similar things, but where are the staff? And he said, well, I suppose, my son said, all you do is order and then go to the front, remember your number and tell them what number you are, and the girl at the front can press a number and say, oh yeah, here's your stuff. And it's all very slick. And I came out and I was astounded, quite frankly. I said, that's automation, isn't it, that's done this? And people think it's a good thing. I think it's a terrible thing, because I think it's just made a load of people unemployed. And I think this is why they've done it. It is convenient for the people like you and me who may be going into those sort of places. But what about the people who need to earn a living? Plenty of students were reliant upon jobs to get them through, maybe weekend jobs, whatever. But now they're on the streets, they're on the unemployment line, aren't they, because of the automation. Well, that's nothing new. But McDonald's have made it into a fine art overnight, haven't they? And it's happening throughout the shops. You know, you go to Poundland now. Yes, I go into Poundland. There are certain things that I like shopping in Poundland because it's great value, quite frankly. Everything's a pound. So it seems. And I always end up spending more than £1. I come out spending 50 quid and I can barely carry the bags back to the car because it is terrific value. And I'm not a snob, and I'm happy to, you know, there's certain biscuits in there that I like, and sometimes you can get the foreign biscuits as well. And these sort of things, I'm a big biscuit eater. I do like biscuits. And I go in and I think, again, what's these 4 or 5 machines? And I'm astounded. I'm thinking, well, here I am, basket full of stuff. I didn't want to be a checkout girl. I really didn't. I didn't have a career move in that direction. I wouldn't know how to use a till. That's not my bag. Excuse the pun. And I was being waved in by somebody at the front saying, "Who's next, please? Next till." And I'm having to go here with my basket and play shop assistant. I have to scan my own stuff. First of all, I have to put how many bags I'm going to nick, pay for. Yes, that's fair enough then. I don't mind that. 4, all right, because I've got a lot of stuff. And then I'm thinking, well, where's the barcode? Shuffle, shuffle, and it's beep, 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 beep. You know, I do it all myself. And then at the end, you know, do I want to pay cash or do I want to pay by card? And it even offers me do you want to go beep? Well, if it's over 30 quid, you can't do it. You know, you have to pay by cash or card and put the card in the machine. Otherwise, you can just say tap, 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 can't you, nowadays? I thought, I'm not falling for this. Because at the end of the day, I don't want to go and do it all myself and check out. Half of the great things about shopping is that you get your stuff, you give it to some bloke or some girl, and they do it, and you have a chat and a bit of social intercourse and a joke and a little flirt, and you pack your bags, and you know, it's all about the shopping experience. I find no joy in sitting there looking like a Nancy trying to scan stuff, and more often like, oh crap, it's not accepting it, you know. Excuse me, anyone to help me because I'm stuck, I can't scan this, and this comes along, big fat Mandy, you know, what's the problem? And they go, beep, there you go. Idiot sort of feeling, and you think, oh, you feel all right, no, don't you? And then you think, oh, okay, and you carry on, and you look at the time that it's taken for me to do this, because I'm a rank amateur at doing it, and I don't like doing it, and I didn't subscribe to this sort of, you know. But if there was a girl on the checkout who does it day in, day out, is very skilled and very chatty and very nice, or even a guy, you know, you may have a little chat with the lads and you talk, it's a bit of banter, isn't it? And it breaks the day up and you're having a chat, you know, these are really good, you want to try them and fantastic, and you know, well, it's all about the shopping experience. But I find shopping a real pain in the ass now because I don't want to serve myself. I truly don't. And all it's done, this automated service, is make people unemployed. And it's like automated productions lines now, where the robots do everything, don't they? And yet, you know, a lot of people say, yeah, I think it's great, it's no problem, I like doing it. And they miss the picture. They miss the picture, don't they? They don't see it. that slowly but surely people are being replaced in the workplace by robots. All right, there is no service anymore. There is no social intercourse between vendor and purchaser, is there, anymore? It's all becoming very impersonal. Well, thanks for shopping with us. Have a lovely day. Take care. Bring it back if there's a problem. Yeah. You see? And, this is disgraceful, what's happening. And in 2 or 3 shops that I went in today have got this system. And you think, Jesus, it's an exhausting experience. It's turned shopping from a pleasure to a nightmare. Now, instead of, a row of checkouts now, there's one, and oh God, the guy at the front who's trying to scan, it's been 5 minutes he's been trying to scan the can of bloody peaches. What is he doing? And then the people in the queue are saying, come on. And he's like, I can't scan my peaches. Well, leave them. On to the next. Because there's either a lack of staff to help the idiots like me at the front who can't scan stuff properly. I have to put my specs on all the time and trying to find why isn't it taking the scan. And I'm getting my blood pressure's going up and I'm getting annoyed. Do you know what I feel like? I feel like just saying, do you know what? Sod it. And dump the lot and just walk out. But I do feel sorry for the staff because they're under such pressure now. People are getting irritated and angry. These people are on minimum wage most of the time, certainly in the pound shop and McDonald's. And they're the ones taking the flak. Who are the ones making the savings and the big bucks then? You've guessed it. Owners of Poundland and owners of McDonald's franchises. Okay, they're the ones who benefit. It's not the customers. It's a complete scam that it's the customers. No, it's not. Give me a human being to interact with. It's all part of the, I don't get often a chance to speak to a young dolly bird at 17, 18 years old and have a good old chat like the perv I am sometimes. My wife would give me a slap for it and say, oh, in your dreams. Yes, I know, but I can dream, I can flirt as good as the next man. And I don't get, I don't mind if I get called, listen, Grandad, shut your face or I call the police. I don't get that anymore. I've stopped that. But, I've actually curtailed the banter because some of the people have got big boyfriends and, I don't want to get into trouble. You chatting up my girlfriend? No, not at all. I was just saying how nice she was. I know. Leave it at that and son. See you later. Yeah, okay. I'll see you outside. I learned very quickly not to flirt with youngsters on tills. But, I've grown up a lot since. And, but it seems sad now that automation, people think it's a good thing, but it isn't. It's a brave new world thing, isn't it? It's robotics. And I just think it's a horrible thing. It takes away the shopping experience. I like to feel cash in my hand. I like to go 1, 2, 3, and it gives. But just to go tap, there's no pain in it, is there? Really, it goes tap. The only pain is when it goes. Computer says no, and this is the danger with a cashless society, isn't it? Because if the computer says no, at least you can get out a couple of quid and pay them cash and say, there you go, your machine's bust. Won't take my card. Here's the cash anyway, and you still get your bread. But if the computer says no and you haven't got any cash because the system's got rid of it, and this is the agenda, folks, this is the agenda that they will get us completely dependent on automation. No card, no bank account, no job, you can't go shopping because the machine doesn't take cash because there isn't any. You've got to have a card, and to get a card you need a bank account. To get a bank account you need a job or money in the bank. Or credit card that has got money on it. It's just 1984, isn't it? George Orwell. It's coming. And we think it's great. Oh, it's so mod, you don't have to queue. No, well, you can either queue behind a human being or you can spend 25 minutes arguing with a machine that's not going to read a barcode. No matter which way you scan it, or the product's missing the barcode because the genius out there hasn't put it up. Or it doesn't work. There's no personal shopping experience anymore. It's not a pleasure for me anymore to go shopping. It's a real pain in the ass. It really is. It's bad enough when you go into Tesco's and get assaulted by bastards banging their trolleys on the back of your ankles. You know, Billy and Bobby and Bunty and their 15 bloody kids are blocking the aisles or parking, you know, in immediate vicinity of the entrance and exit, or blocking up all the disabled parking spots because they're too fat to walk 10 yards. You know, swollen ankles. Yeah, you got swollen ankles, love. Yeah, that's right. That's why you. That's what. It's all the food. The gravity gravitates to its lowest denominator, doesn't it? Which are the ankles. You can tell when fat people, you know, you can tell they're wearing tights because when they fart, their ankles swell. You can tell. But no, I've had my fill of shopping experience. Shopping experiences for me now is like get in before the maddening crowd gets out of bed. Do what I have to do and get back home to the safety and comfort and convenience and sanity of my own bloody house. I'm becoming very agoraphobic. I'm almost becoming xenophobic. I cannot stand it. I don't want to talk to the bloody strangers anymore, and they shouldn't be. You see, life shouldn't be like this. But you try to strike up a conversation with some people in the street you think look like reasonable, have a chat, and it's like they look at you as though to say, sorry, it's such a surprise you talk to some people. Sorry, you're talking to me? Yeah, hello, verbal communication. And some of them go, yeah, in some bloody foreign Chechen and stuff. I think, oh, Jesus, he's not from Britain. You can barely string a sentence. You go, K. It's like, you know, they don't understand. You think, oh, and that's happening more and more to me now. There's more and more foreigners that are coming into this country that don't even speak the lingo. But I bet they can claim the benefit forms. I bet there's somebody helping them fill in the benefit forms that they've got here from Chechnya and Romania and all these sort of people. You know, these are the people that you're having to deal with now in the high streets. And again, a reason to get home and shut that bloody door. So much for multiculturalism. It does make me laugh. I mean, I was on public transport once and I was sat behind two fully fledged burkas. Yeah, two breeding pair, black ones, they're black burkas, letterboxes. And these girls had, well, I think they were girls. You can never tell, can you? You see, this is the difficulty. You don't know if there's a bloke inside that burqa cross-dressing. You would never know. And they got the gloves on, man. They got the black gloves. It's not henna, it was black gloves. They got the letterboxes like that kit car, you know, that Kit, wasn't it, the car that David Hasselhoff used to drive around with the red light at the front? Do you remember that? And when I look at burqa, I'm looking for the red light going left and right of the slot. You could sell quite a few of them, couldn't you, really? The hat, and put a red light going, and they're scanning you. You don't know what's behind that burqa. You simply don't. And I think that it should be absolutely outlawed. Absolutely. I can't walk into a bank wearing a crash helmet, but she can walk, assuming it's a she, walk into a bank with a full mounted burqa, and she wouldn't be asked to take her top off, her lid. No, you're kidding, aren't you? That'd be offensive, that'd be racist, you see. But I could show my little white face in a crash helmet. I'd have to take my crash helmet off just in case. Just in case of what? What am I going to do just because I've got a crash helmet on? You know, it's utterly ridiculous, isn't it? But don't you say a word, you racist. So, venturing into town for me truly is a big adventure. And it's not something I relish doing anymore. This is why I shop online. I go eBay and Amazon, and you know, and I do love it though sometimes. But sometimes I get our local Amazon guy. Yeah, he's a Muslim, okay, and it's the same one time and time again. He's on the route. Sadly, he's on our route, but he's very efficient. He's quite a nice guy for a Muslim. I can tell he's a Muslim because he hits our house and runs. He knocks on our front door and the dogs bark. And I've never seen 0 to 60 so fast down our driveway, get into his van and piss off. I thought, I haven't even got to answer the door and he's gone. I think, well, I don't know what to do next. I mean, I might put a bit of bacon and hang it over the front door knocker. That'll stop him knocking. He'd have to ring the bell then. You know, I got CCTV in my house. I can see someone coming up the driveway. Oh, this is going to be fun. Give him 10 seconds, you'll see him fly down that way. And they do, you know. It's only a saving grace. Only by the grace of God I've got a postman that is as English as me. And we have chats, me and the postman. And God, he can tell a few stories. Oh yes, that's why I love my postie. That's, you know, that's part of being Britain, isn't it? I remember also the days we used to have milk bottles on our doorstep. They were happy days. And the blue tits used to tap out the top of the gold top and the silver top when it was proper milk to get into the milk at the top. Clever little things, blue tits, aren't they? But nowadays, you see, we've destroyed the milk industry, haven't we now? Or the supermarkets have. See, again, it's all about convenience. But what about the jobs of the milkmen? Milkmen tried to diversify because the supermarkets were diversifying. And the milkmen tried to compete by supplying eggs and butter and cheese and that. But can you imagine it was bad enough getting all the milk crates on their little vans, wasn't it? I used to lie in bed at about 4 in the morning when I was a school kid. I could hear the milkman coming around and feel sorry for the poor sod, thinking, Jesus, it's cold out there, it's wet, it was raining, I'm under a nice quilt. It wasn't a quilt, it was a bed in them days. Proper covers, you know, not a quilt. I used to be so snug and think, oh, you poor sod. And we used to give our milkman quite a thing at Christmas. We used to give him a hamper at Christmas just to say thanks very much for everything you've done. And nowadays you can't actually leave your milk at the front door of the house anyway because it'll be nicked. Such is our society. You know, it's dangerous to leave anything outside your house. You're lucky. I mean, you're lucky that last time I went to Liverpool, I only go to Liverpool once a year just to visit my hubcaps. Yes, once a year I go and see them. I have to leave them there because they're on another car now. But I know they're mine. Bit of a joke. Yes. Well, folks, I've rattled on long enough. But at the end of the day, I don't see any benefits in automation. All I see human beings doing is self-sacrificing. We don't see it. We are like lambs to the slaughter. You know, we're being treated so badly as consumers, we still take it on the chin. And now, I don't care if the shops all close, because shopping online to me is the way forward. Because that means I don't have to go out. I'm becoming more and more xenophobic, agoraphobic, you name it, phobic. Because I don't want to mix in such a world. I don't want to. So I have had the best of times. But strangely enough, you see, children relish it. They love going into McDonald's. They love to do the selfie. Such a novelty. But they don't know what it was like in the old days, do they? Do you remember my video about reminiscing? No. There is no social intercourse anymore. A lot of sexual intercourse going on all over the place. There's no social intercourse. We don't talk to one another, do we? But we know how to touch a computer screen and navigate around the Burger Kings and the McDonald's. But, you know, we don't even have to talk to the person at the checkout anymore, do we? Well, that's multiculturalism for you. Yeah, I can go into McDonald's, order a meal, go out, pay it without saying one bloody word to anybody. How rude would that be? Well, it's great for those who can't speak English. Isn't that what it's all about? Catering for those who are illiterate in our language. There is no entrance exam to become a Briton. And there bloody well should be. Just like they have in the States. Catch you tomorrow. Have a lovely bank holiday. Avoid McDonald's unless you're happy talking to yourself and you know how to use the machines. Toodle-pip.